Hi, Verbling. My name is Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. And today we're talking about the difference between do and make. I will put the notes in the chat box and my Facebook name. If you guys want to friend me on Facebook and ask me questions or just chat for a little while, you're welcome to. Muscab, welcome to class.
Hi, how are you, my teacher?
Good, how are you?
I am fine.
Excellent, good to see you.
See you too.
Did you catch the U.S. soccer game last night? Not a soccer fan, Muscab?
Yes, and
Have you been catching up with the World Cup?
no, I don't watch the World Cup because I am.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Samuel, welcome back to class. How are you?
Welcome back. I'm fine. Yeah.
Wow, you're really dedicated today, huh?
Yeah, it's intensive English.
Yeah, excellent. Glad to have you with me. A marathon almost.
Okay.
Suna, welcome to class.
Yeah, hi, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, very good.
Excellent. Have you been keeping up with the soccer games for the World Cup?
Actually, I doesn't like soccer game.
Yeah, usually I don't either, but right now I'm feeling particularly spirited because the US had a very interesting game last night.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Louise, welcome to class.
Hi, thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Did you catch the game last night, Louise?
No, I don't like soccer's games,
Oh man.
so I don't follow these games.
I see. All right. Well, good to have you here, Louise.
Thank you.
Martine, welcome to class.
Hello,
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Did you catch the soccer game? I'm hoping someone saw it. The soccer game last night with the US and Portugal. Did you see it, Martine?
I don't understand.
I'll put the question in the chat box. Did you see the soccer game with the US and Portugal? There.
Did you see the soccer game with the US and Portugal?
Mm-hmm.
Portugal? US.
Mm-hmm.
I saw.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. How about Jairo? Did you see the game, the soccer game with the US and Portugal?
Hi, Michaela.
Hi, Jairo.
Yes.
Welcome to class.
Nice to see you again.
Good to see you too. Did you catch the game?
Yeah, the game was excellent.
It was very exciting, thrilling experience.
On the last time, USA no won.
Yeah, it was a little depressing. We were so close, and then we lost it in the last minute of the game, the very last second.
Yes.
It was very sad. Very,
very sad.
But it was exciting. Sad, but exciting.
Was exciting.
All right. Well, good to see you, Jairo.
Thank you.
Francisco, welcome to class.
Hi.
How are you today, Francisco?
I'm good. What about you?
Doing very well. Have you been keeping up with soccer for the World Cup?
Yeah.
And did you catch the game last night with the US and Portugal?
Yeah, I enjoy watching that. This was this was a really exciting match.
Yeah, every minute was tense and suspenseful. It was a good game. It was sad, but good.
At least was a draw, right?
Yeah, it was a draw. It was a tie between the teams. So in some ways, that's good, but a win would have been better. So maybe we'll have to beat Germany in order to make it into. I don't think we have much of a chance, but I'll hope. I'm gonna cross my fingers.
Of course, surely USA will win.
Yeah, we'll see. Daniel, welcome back. You're doing a mini marathon of English too, huh?
Yes, hello again.
Awesome. Hello again. Glad to have you.
I'm glad to.
And Christina, you're back as well.
Hello again.
Hey Christina, good to have you guys back, all from my music class. That was fun.
Yes.
And now, unfortunately, we have to do a little more work. This class is going to be a little less fun and games and a little more grammar, but also very useful.
Yes.
And I put the notes in the chat box for you guys. I'm going to put it in the Google chat box now as well. So you can open the notes there. And I will screen share so you guys can follow along with me. Okay, so a pretty common problem for learners of English is telling the difference between the verbs do and make, which are very, very similar and they're a similar way of being used. We're going to talk about the differences today to help you not make the mistake of using the wrong verb. First, we're going to talk about do, when it is appropriate to use do. Now, these are general rules. Of course, there are some examples that's going to be irregular, but these are generally true of do. So, rule number 1 plus the examples. Let's see, how about Christina? Will you read that for us?
Okay. Do is used when talking about work, jobs, or tasks. Note, they do not produce a physical object. How you done your homework? I have guests visiting tonight, so I should start doing the housework now. I wouldn't like to do that job.
Excellent. So we use do talking about work, jobs, or tasks. Rule number 2, Daniel, will you read it?
Yes. Do is used when we refer to activities in general, without being specific. In these cases, we normally use words like thing, something, nothing, anything, everything, etc. Hurry up, I've got things to do. Don't just stand there. Do something. Is there anything I can do to help you?
Thank you very much. And rule number 3, Francisco, will you read rule number 3 and the examples for us?
Okay. We sometimes use do to replace a verb when the meaning is clear or obvious. This is more common in informal spoken English. Do I need to do my hair? Do brush or comb? Have you done the dishes yet? Don't wash. I'll do the kitchen if you do the lawns. Do, clean, do, mow. Remember, do can also be as an auxiliary verb for making questions in the present tense. Do you like chocolate?
Thank you. So sometimes it's auxiliary, and that one is pretty clear. You never use make in that kind of auxiliary context. And now let's move on to make. When do you use make? We have a few rules here for this one. This first rule, I'm going to ask Jairo to read for us.
Yes. When do you use make? Make it for producing, constructing, creating, or building something new. It is also used to indicate the origin of a product or the materials that are used to make something. His wedding ring is made of gold. The house was made of adobe. Wine is made from grapes, and the watches were made in Switzerland.
Thank you very much. And just a note on pronunciation, we actually say this word adobe.
Adobe?
Kind of a bizarre pronunciation, but that's how we say it. Okay. The next rule here, it's a short one, is for Louise. Louise, will you read that one for us?
Okay. We also use make for producing an action or reaction. Onions make your eyes water. You make me happy. It's not my fault. My brother made me do it.
Thank you very much. And the next short one here is going to be for Muscab. Will you read that for us?
You make after certain nouns about place of decisions. Make the arrangements. Make a choice.
And the next rule here is for Samuel. Will you read the next rule for us?
Yes. We use make with nouns about speaking a certain sound. Make a comment, make a noise, make a speech.
Thank you. And the very last rule is for Suma. Suna, will you read the last rule for us?
Yeah. We use make with food, drink, and meals. Make a cake, make a cup of tea, make dinner.
Okay. So as you
teacher,
can,
Can I use this? Can I use this text bubble in chat?
can you use text in chat?
Yeah, bubble in chat.
I'm not sure I understand your question. Can you put it in the chat box for us?
Yeah, bubble in chat.
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to put the text in the Verbling chat?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have access to the link?
Yes.
Okay. So the link is in the Verbling and the Google chat for you guys.
Yes.
So is that good?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Okay. So this is not really an exact science when it comes to when you use do and make. These are just general guidelines because it can be very confusing. So if you can remember these, you have a much better chance of knowing when to use do and when to use make. There's a short section here comparing do and make. A, you have to make a cake for Simon. B, I'll do it later. Notice how the response, the verb do, is used. This is because the meaning is clear and to avoid saying I'll make it later, which could sound repetitive. So sometimes we replace the word make with do when it's obvious what we're talking about. For instance, I have to make the cake. I'll say, oh, I'll do it later, or I don't want to do it. And another very common one is do the dishes. What we really mean is wash the dishes, but it's so obvious that we just say do. Okay. Now we're going to read some expressions with do and some expressions with make. Do you guys have any questions before we go on to the expressions? All right.
No.
If you guys do think of questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat box or ask them the next time we have a little pause. And most of these expressions will follow the rules that we just talked about, but we're going to read them and then talk a little more about how we use them. Okay. Christina, will you read the first part of this list for us, where I'm highlighting until do good? Oops, sorry. Here you go.
Okay. Expression with do. Do business, do the dishes. Oh. Do the dishes, do a favor, do good.
Thank you very much. And the rest of this list here is for Daniel. Will you read that for us?
Yes. Do harm,
You
do time to go to prison, do well, do your best, do your hair, do your nails, do your worst.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have a question on the expressions with do? The meaning of any of those expressions?
What is the meaning do harm?
Does anybody know? Do harm?
No.
So do harm is pretty simple. Harm is something negative, some kind of injury or something like that. So I might say something like, I prefer, or I try to not do harm to the environment. Meaning I try not to negatively influence the environment or injure the environment. So I try not to do harm. And there's a common expression in English, do no harm. And usually it means like the first goal you should have is not to do something bad. Do no harm. Like don't do a bad thing.
Okay.
do
Any other questions on this list? No questions so far? All right. Then let's move on to the list of make expressions. The first
make.
And the beginning of this list is it Francisco? I think it's your turn, right?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Expressions with make. Make believe, to pretend, make a choice, make a comment, make a decision.
Thank you very much. And the next few here are for Jairo. Will you read those for us?
Okay. Make a difference. Make an effort. Make an excuse. Make a fool of yourself. Make a fortune.
Yeah, make a fortune.
Fortune.
Awesome. And the next few are for Louise. Go ahead, Louise.
Okay, let me see the screen. Okay, make friends, make a fuss, make a love, make a mess, make a mistake.
Awesome. The next 5, starting with these highlighted ones, is for, these are for Martine. Go ahead.
Okay. It's make money, make a note, make payment, make a phone call, make a plan, make a point.
Awesome. And we have a few more on the next page. These first 4 are going to be for Muscab. Will you read those for us?
Make
make a prophet, make a promise, make a remake, make a sound, make a speech.
Thank you very much. And the rest of the list is going to be for some well. Can you finish that list for us?
Yes, make a suggestion, make time, make a visit, make your bed, to prepare the bed for sleeping in, make sure.
Thank you very much. Okay, do you guys have questions on those expressions before we move on to a little exercise where we're going to fill in the blank?
Yeah, I got a question, Miss.
Go ahead.
You use with expression with make the word effort, right? You use effort with expression with make, and you use do when you're trying to do reference and expression with do, right? With your best, right? So what about if you're trying to make a sentence? For example, if I'm talking with my friend and I say to him, I am trying to do my best effort, or I am trying to make my best effort. What's the correct sentence of that?
That's kind of actually an interesting question. I would say that the most common way to say that, actually, if you're going to say your best effort, I would say something like, I'm putting really crazy because it's not any of the verbs we've been talking about so far. It's not do or make. I would say I'm putting in my best effort, or
my best.
You could say something.
Can you write down that?
Yeah, I put it in the VerbLink chat box, and I'll put it in the Google chat box as well. And yeah, totally a mess. I know it's confusing, but if I were going to say effort and best together like that, I would definitely say put. You could also say I'm making a great effort. If you want to use a different adjective there, you could use make. So if you're going to use any other adjective, you can use make. And unfortunately, there's not really a good rule as to why you would use put, but I would use put there. But basically, if you're using something after best, it changes the meaning a little. So do your best is when best is a noun. So if you're using best as a noun, then you use do. But if you're not, if it's an adjective, like your best effort would be an adjective, I would probably say put. And if you use any other adjective, you can do make. So make a great effort, make a small effort, make a large effort. As long as you're using any other adjective, you can use make.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? No other questions?
No.
All right. So using what we've gone over so far, we're going to fill in the blank here. So your job is going to be to fill in this blank with the verb do or make, and occasionally it also needs to be conjugated. There's no very difficult conjugation here. It's mostly simple present or simple past, but you might have to add an ed or possibly an s for the third person or something, so just keep that in mind. And sentence number 1 is for Suna. Suna, will you read sentence number 1 and fill in that blank for us?
My uncle Martin made a lot of money with his company last year.
Excellent. Yeah, made, because the correct verb is make, and we're conjugating it for the simple past because it's last year. So made a lot of money. Excellent job, Suna. Number 2, I'm going to go in the opposite order this time and start with Samuel. Will you do number 2 for us?
Yes. You didn't make your homework yesterday, why?
Do?
So you think make,
Do. Sorry,
do,
no, do.
do.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one's kind of like a job or a task. So it sort of falls into that first rule of do. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, musab. Will you do
Okay.
number 3 for us?
Sure.
Yes.
Make sure.
Hmm?
Me, my teacher?
Muscab, will you do 3?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And do me a favor. Can you pick up my salt my salty from the dry cleaners tomorrow?
Great. Do me a favor. Excellent answer. And that word is suit. Even though the vowels are a little crazy, it's pronounced suit. All right. Martine, will you do number 4?
Okay. Before going to the airport, make sure you have your it with you.
Excellent. Make sure. Awesome. Number 5. Louise, go ahead and do number 5.
Okay. I think Jen did a mistake in her presentation yesterday.
Good conjugation, but I don't think do is the best verb here. Will you try and use that sentence with make?
Okay, I think Jen made a mistake in her presentation yesterday.
Excellent. Made a mistake. Thank you very much. Number 6, Jairo.
Yes, I won't make you any harm. You get more fruit and vegetables.
Okay. So you think it won't make you any harm?
Make, no?
Not quite right. This is harm, which is one we talked about. Which verb goes with harm?
Make,
Nope. Actually, it's do here.
do?
So do no harm. We talked a little bit about this one because it's sort of a foreign one that we weren't totally familiar with. But do harm. So it won't do you any harm to eat more fruits and vegetables.
Do? Okay.
Won't do you any harm. Thank you very much. Number 7. We're on to Francisco. Will you do number 7 for us?
Number 7. The police officer was only doing his duty when he questioned you about the robbery.
Excellent. Do. So a duty is kind of like a task or a job, a work, some sort of thing like that. Excellent answer. Number 8, Daniel.
David had just made me an offer I can't refuse. He's asked me to do a journey with him to Sydney.
Awesome. So yours is a little complicated. It's got 2 here. And you're totally right. The first one, David had just made me an offer I can't refuse. He asked me to blank a journey with him. Make is actually not quite right here. So can you change it to the other one?
To do. He's asked me to
Sorry.
do.
You said do for this one, and it's actually make.
Okay.
Sorry, you said do originally, and it's actually the other one. So he asked me to make a journey with him to Sydney. Make sense? All right. Number 9, Christina. Christina, your turn.
Okay, it's always a pressure to do business with that company.
Excellent. Business. Number 10, Suna. Suna? No,
I
I'm
can
sorry.
hear.
Suna, you guys can't hear me?
Yeah.
I hear your voice scratching.
Your
Hello?
signal is poor.
Yeah, we have some background noise. Could everyone just mute yourselves when you're not talking? That way we eliminate that background noise. I'm not sure if I mute everybody. That way, whoever, only when you're speaking, mute yourself. That way we avoid that background noise. Suna, will you go ahead and do the next one for us?
Yes. What number?
Number
What's
10. Number 10.
Yeah. Jerry has made fun of me because of my outfit.
Yes. Made. He has made fun of me. Excellent job. Make fun is like to laugh at someone or to make a joke about them. All right. Number 11, Samuel.
March always do the housework before going shopping.
Okay, good verb choice, but you have to conjugate it a little bit for here. Not do, but.
Oh, make.
Nope, no.
No.
Do is the right verb. You just
Okay,
have to
okay.
conjugate it. So how do we need to
It's past
conjugate it?
did, no?
You could say did. You could either say did in the past tense, which would be a perfect answer, or you could make it the third person, which would become does. So we have two options. You can say Marge always
Okay.
does the housework before going shopping, or Marge always did the housework before going shopping. Both of those are totally great.
All right, I understand.
All right. Number 12, Muscab.
Yes. And can you? I don't see it on screen. Okay, now can you can you make room for my suitcase in the wardrobe, please?
Wonderful. Make room. So make room is kind of similar to make space. We need a little extra space. We're going to make room. Thank you very much. And Louise, will you do number 13?
Yes. We did a difficult mathematics test last Friday.
Did for this one. You do a test. Excellent. That's a common mistake too. People usually say make a test. Good job. Number 14, Jairo.
Yes.
Go for it.
Mark has to make up his mind. He has to do a choice now. Does she want to go to the university or not?
Do is not quite right there. Can you say it again with the other verb?
Does or
Nope, it's
make?
the other verb, yeah. Make, exactly. He has to make a choice. Awesome, thank you. Number 15, Francisco.
Okay. Uh, I'm not I'm not in the mood to go to Ellen's party tonight. I think uh, I'll make an excuse and I'll stay at home.
Wonderful, make an excuse. Number 16, Daniel.
Yes. You don't need to win the competition. Just do your best.
Awesome, do your best. Well done. Number 17, Christina.
I like to I like to make an inquiry regarding vulnerability for the 22 of October.
Excellent. Make an inquiry. And that's 22nd of October.
22nd. Okay.
All right. Number 18, Suna.
Yes. A hot cup of chocolate make me good whenever I feel low.
It's actually not make. Will you read this sentence again using the verb do?
Do
So we have to use the verb do and conjugate it. So how are we going to conjugate that verb for sentence number 18?
a hot cup of chocolate cake does me good whenever.
Yeah, exactly. A hot cup of chocolate does me good whenever I feel low. It's a comforting thing, a hot cup of chocolate. All right. Number 19, Samuel.
The hurricane does some terrible damage to the neighboring house. It was a nightmare.
Great choice of verbs, but we need to conjugate it a little differently since we're talking about something in the past.
Did.
Yeah, did. It did some terrible damage to the houses. It was a nightmare. Thank you very much. And Muscab, 20.
Okay, I think scientists have make an important and discovery on how to cure Edison.
Great, you chose the right verb, but we actually need to conjugate it a little differently. We need the participle. So I think scientists have.
Have
So
to?
no, the verb you used was right. Make is the right verb, but we have to conjugate it in the past.
Of and in verb in the past make it
So make in the past tense is what?
past tennis. Make make it.
Made. Made. It's a little irregular. So it becomes M-A-D-E, made. Since we're using the perfect tense, I think scientists have made an important discovery on how to cure AIDS. Excellent.
Make made. Yes, made. I understand now. Made.
Exactly.
Thank you, my teacher.
Thank you. Okay. Any questions from these 20 sentences and fill in the blanks?
Yeah, mate. I got a question.
Yeah, what's up?
What's the correct pronunciation of damage? I think it's like I am saying at the moment, but I'm not sure. Damage?
Damage.
Damage. And the last word in the last sentence is AIDS. What's the correct pronunciation of that?
AIDS.
AIDS.
Like similar to made, we've got aid. If you just take the first M off of the verb made in the past, it becomes aid.
Aid.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions on these? Great. So now that you guys are experts on how to use do and make, I'm going to ask you guys to make some sentences. I'm going to give you an expression, and you guys are going to use it in a sentence. Okay. First one, do business is for Suna. Samuel, you get do a favor. Muscab, you get do good. Louise, you've got do harm. Jairo, you get do time, as in go to prison. Francisco, you get do your best. Do your best. Daniel, do your hair. And Christina, do your worst. So whatever phrase I assigned you, make a sentence using it and put it in the chat box when you're ready. Whichever chat box is most convenient for you. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Miss,
Question?
yeah.
What's up?
Should it be a sentence? Is it necessary? For example, I can make a question with using the expression with do. Or...
Any sentence. You can make a question, or you can talk about something that happened to you in the past. You can just make up a fake story. Wherever you want to get inspiration is okay, as long as you show that you know what the expression means.
Oh, okay.
All right, we already have one ready. You're not going to do harm in your first lecture tomorrow, are you? Interesting sentence. I'm curious. So what kind of a harm could a person do? I guess the question would be for a teacher, right?
Yeah, maybe
Very interesting.
forgot some part of the lecture.
Okay, you could do harm in your first lecture. Good sentence. And the next one, people bald like me don't need to do their hair. Excellent sentence. Very true.
It's
You
true.
guys are lucky.
It's true.
No extra work.
No, I don't spend money.
Yeah, no extra money on it.
I do it myself.
Great sentence. All right, from the Google chat box, we have, let's see. You're not, oh no, that's the same one that I read in the other one. You're not going to do harm. Okay. Okay, a couple more from the verbling. I want to do business with you. Great job, Suna. Wonderful sentence. You do me a favor. You lend me that book. Good. We might need a period there. You do me a favor, period. You lend me that book, period. Those would be good sentences. The homework of math in class, to do worst. Interesting sentence. Let's see. So we might change it around a little to say the homework in math class. The homework in math class. And then we're missing another verb here. So we probably would need to conjugate to do worst in another way. I'm a little unsure of what exactly you're trying to say, but maybe you're trying to say something more like, I do the worst on my homework in math class. Something like that would make a lot of sense. I do the worst on my homework in math class. Is that similar to what you were trying to say, Christina?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next up, he was due time 2 years in prison because he stolen much money. Great sentence, great idea. A couple corrections here. So we don't need the verb was. We can say he did time, or even he did 2 years time in prison because he stole. We're going to use the simple past instead of the participle. He stole a lot of money. That's a little bit more polished version of your sentence. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And let's see. You do good. All right, that's a pretty simple sentence, Muscab, but it's a good one. It's a good one. Is that like an order, like you do good, or else, or I'll punish you? Something like that. All right.
Okay.
Good sentences. We're going to do this one more time. And this time, I'm going to give you phrases with make. So starting with Suna, you get to use make believe, which means something similar like to pretend.
Yes.
So make a sentence using make believe. Next up, we have Samuel, who gets make a comment. Muscab gets make a difference. That's kind of a cool one. Louise, you get make an effort. Geno, make an excuse. Daniel, make a fool of yourself. And Christina, make a fortune. Oh, and Francisco, sorry. Francisco gets make friends.
Make friends. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and make sentences and put them in the chat box when you're ready. Excellent, we have some already. You have to make an effort to learn English. It is so hard. Very true, Louise. It does require a lot of effort. Great sentence. Yesterday I ended totally drunk. I was making a fool of myself with everybody. Oh gosh, great sentence. One small correction. It makes a little more sense to say in front of everybody.
Yes, better.
Other than that, it's an excellent sentence. Thank you, Daniel.
Yes.
And when he can't go to the opera, he make an excuse for her. Okay, great sentence. I totally see what you're trying to say. Just a couple corrections. It should be makes with an S because it's the singular third person. So when he can't go to the opera, he makes an excuse to her.
Oh,
To
okay,
instead of for.
Thanks.
Other than that, it's excellent. Thank you. I made many friends in this World Cup. I expect forward to talking with them after the cup ends. Awesome. I like where you're going with this. Glad you're making friends. A couple small corrections. I made many friends in this World Cup. I expect to talk. So you can change this in a couple ways. You can say, I expect with them after the World Cup ends. Or you can say, I look forward to talking. So you kind of used a combination of those two, but it would be better to say I.
Okay.
Awesome.
Miss, I forgot to put down my sentence uh, with did your best. Did your best. I write down. I wanna you check this
Yeah,
sentence.
sure. Sure, go ahead and put it in. We'll read it. So don't worry, guys. US did its best effort to win. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. Anyway, the next match, US will defeat Germany. Wow, you're positive. That's a positive thought about how the US will do. So I would say that's an interesting phrasing. I'm going to start with the second part. Unfortunately, this didn't happen. Anyways, the next match, the US, so add in the US, will defeat Germany. So no, we don't need to, and we can change German, which is a language, to Germany, which is a place.
Oh, okay.
So most of your sentence is wonderful, but it's a little bit strange. The US did its best effort. We either could say made a great effort,
Okay.
or put in its best effort. So that would be a little bit better of a way to use that expression. As we said, if we use best effort, we really can't use did or make. But if you change that adjective, we could.
Okay.
Okay. Couple more sentences, I think, for make. He is making a fortune in his new store. Awesome, Christina. Great sentence. He makes believe her that he loves her. Ooh, interesting. So we just need one other word. He makes believe that. Great sentence, Soon, a very dramatic sentence. And the next one, in the last presentation, I heard you make a comment. Or heard you made a comment. That works too. Awesome, Samuel. Great sentence. And please, make you difference meal. Interesting, Muscab. What did you mean to say here? Like you don't want what they're having for lunch and you want something different?
Hi, teacher.
Hi, Muscab. So with your sentence, please make you difference meal. What exactly were you trying to say? Are you trying to say like, oh, I don't like hot dogs. Please make something else. Make something different for lunch. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so that would be good. The only thing is that would be different. So please, ooh, what's this? That would be something more like, please make a different meal. Please make a different meal. To say something like a difference, that would be something more general, like I'm something more like that. And I'll put that sentence in the chat boxes for you guys. All right, so we have run out of time for class. If you guys have any other comments or questions, go ahead and let me know on Verbling or Facebook. And thank you all for coming here and participating. See you again soon, guys.
You're welcome. I
Okay,
hope to see
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.